What's going on, y'all? So listen. So being Mary Jane, y'all, we are back, and this touched on. It's so funny how this is going on with this whole transgender issue that's going on too. But anyway, what is this? Season 4, episode something. Feeling exposed. Girl, I don't know what the title was. Anyway, we'll get to it. So the episode starts off, let's just go case by case. Kara's back at work. She's pissed off at Mary Jane. They're bringing her back. They having a little introduction, like, oh, welcome back to Kara. And then they, having a little introduction of Danny. Girl, the child here had nobody barely clap when that bitch was announced. They was like... So Kara is cursing out, well, giving Mary Jane a mouthful. This is her first day back, and on her first day back, she sees the person that basically she feel like helped fucked her, clamoring with her best friend, and she like her best friend didn't even get the tell her or give her a heads up, kept it secret from her because she knew it was kind of dirty, it was kind of shady. Granted, you can't help who you fall for, but Mary Jane is the type of person, like we've already established, that will self-sabotage, and just because one faction of something in that relationship don't seem right, she'll just let it go completely and move on to somebody else who she think may have what she needs. It is a real possibility that Mary Jane has passed over past relationships that could have been her soulmate, could have been married to by now, if she hadn't been so picky, or if she would have been consistent, okay? If she would have just follow through and not just every small little thing. Oh, he did this, it's time to go. Okay? Oh, he put his shoe in the wrong place, it's time to go. She nitpicks and finds something wrong with each relationship. And that says a lot about her character. Okay? So they going through all that stuff. They're worried about Garrick finding out about their relationship. Kara, of course, is, she's pissed off about it because this is the man that fucked her over. That's how she feels. And Mary Jane's feeling like, well, he's the one that got you your job back, so you should feel at least a little bit okay about that. No, I don't give a shit because it feels as though you're giving me my job back as a guilt trip, and because now you're fucking him, you're telling him you need to go and fix this. Granted, that's not necessarily what Mary Jane said, but you can understand why Kara may see it that way, okay? Because all of a sudden, she got her job back, and then you want to say Justin did it. So, the big story about this episode was it was this home garden lady that was trying to be like the next Martha Stewart, named Sandra something, and she was supposed to have a segment, this competition that was going on for the next 4 weeks on Good Day USA, and the little Danny bitch was gonna be the one that was doing it, okay? But all of a sudden, everybody get calls into Garrett's office because the video came out, as they always just so happen to do, just like they did with Kim Burrell when she was saying that shit about homosexuals and gays and lesbians and stuff, and how everything got stripped away from her from that. This girl got a video out of her at some church or whatever, saying how homosexuality is a sin and all this stuff, and just being very disgusting with it, okay? Trying to make it seem as if, gay people are just the scum of the earth, okay? And they having this meeting as to what they should do about it. Whether they should continue with the the segment, or, drop the segment completely, don't have her own. Now, the majority of everybody there is saying, listen, drop this bitch, let's move on. Because we don't need the PR nightmare. We already got low ratings. We don't need this shit. But Garrett is thinking, well, this is a good way to get ratings, okay? Because people want to see what's going to happen, because they already had her scheduled to come in for this interview. So, hell, let's just flip the interview and, talk about what happened in the video, and not do it about the home segment at garden thing. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna address the issue with the homosexual rant and all that shit. Because Danny was like, you can't cut this because this is about censorship and all this stuff, and well, people in your community, they agree with this and all this shit. Mary Jane had to come at her and say, what? I'm surprised you really gonna sit here and tell me that something about the black community? And I love the fact that she was like, well, in the Bible, God said homosexuality is wrong. And then Carol snapped back at it and said, also in that Bible, it says don't judge and a whole bunch of other shit. So you gonna nitpick. That's what Christians do, that use that excuse all the time. We are all sinners. No sin is better than the other. Okay, so if you gonna call me out for who I fuck with, all right, which is none of your goddamn business. And I don't understand why it affects you so much that you have such deep hatred in your skin that, you know, you can work with them, but you hold this disgust with it. We'll get to that in a second. But you can't follow the Bible verse by verse by verse. You don't. Okay. So Justin just so happened to agree with Danny that they should go ahead and keep the segment or keep her on as the interview. And that's exactly what they do. You know, Mary Jane feeling the type of way, but okay, whatever. Garrett takes the interview from Danny because, bitch, you just came from YouTube. You're not ready to get real political interview stuff like this yet. So they give it to Mary Jane. I'm sitting here like, yes. So Mary Jane is about to have an opportunity to get back to the SNC in Atlanta, Mary Jane. You know, hit it where it fucking hurts and call the bitch out and, you know, call out on all her bullshit. I'm waiting for it. Okay. So once again, they skirting around this issue with trying to figure out how to do this shit with the relationship and before it gets all the way out, you know, let's do this segment and then we're going to go tell Garrett and all this shit. So it was some other stuff that was happening. Kara winds up, you know, feeling a type of way because she basically had to be bumped in doing her little thing to doing some pointless shit about how the Consumer Report on how many rolls of toilet paper has. Is the toilet paper company really telling the truth and all this stuff? I would have been pissed off too. So she comes home, she frustrated, got Orlando and his people all up in her house, food everywhere, then ate her motherfucking food that she said she was gonna have for dinner that night. Bitch, I would have flipped the fuck out because you know you be at work. You be at work, you be at school, you be out all day, and you be like, damn, I got this shit up in the house. I can't wait to cook that shit. You know, you've been thinking about it all day like, it's gonna taste so good. And then you get in the house and the motherfucker done put the goddamn mouth on it. You done took my shit. Are you fucking kidding me? I would have beat his ass. Okay, and he's sitting there looking like, why you upset and gonna just give her a couple of pieces, bitch? Couple of pieces of my ass. I wanted that. I wanted what I had for leftovers, okay? That's what I had my heart determined on. Sell on, bitch. But she was actually telling him, you're going to have to get these niggas out of here. Why do you keep on hanging with Mo, Larry, and Shemp? Okay? Like, Curly got to go too. Okay? Why do you keep hanging with them? Because they're going to be like your downfall. They make you look stupid. Because this Animal House frat boy type of shit, you're going to have to get rid of that or at least tone it the fuck down. And also, you know, in order to, like, secure her spot at the job, she suggests that he gives Garrett some tickets to hang out with them or whatever after the game. Garrett ain't really here for it. He said, you know, I don't like fucking with fans like that. Call that motherfucker a fan. But, bitch, he went on ahead and did it for his lady because that's what love. When you in love, you do shit for him that you really don't want to do. And Garrett was hanging out. And they had Garrett fucked up. They probably wasn't even there for a good 30 minutes, okay? They probably just literally got there, and they had Garrett all type of fucked up, okay? Garrett could barely stand up straight. That motherfucker was hunched over like this the whole time. He seen this black girl, Esther, come through with the big booty. He was like, oh my God, she's beautiful. Who is that? I said, listen, okay? Jungle Fever came out. Bitch, you can't respect us outside the boy room, but you can fuck us in the bedroom. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. But he was drunk as shit. You know, Kara is trying to call somebody, texting somebody, seeing how they doing. But bitch, she get these pictures. She get all these pictures of Gary just all fucked up and, you know, out of control or whatever. And what it looked like to me, I felt like she was overreacting, but I understood because she's on high alert because she just got back at this job. And she's like, oh my God, if it gets too wild, I can get fired. But, you know, she calls Orlando, cursing him out in Spanish and everything, basically saying, what the fuck are you doing with him? Okay? I'm not trying to lose my job. Chill the fuck out. But he said, I got you. Ain't nothing gonna happen. While he on the phone with her, Garrett is in the back with his shirt off, squaring up to another nigga finna get knocked out, and then eventually does get knocked out. But see, Gary comes back to the office the next day and pulls Kara in his office, and it was almost as if he was about to curse her out, like, how dare you hook me up with them motherfucking animals, okay? But no, he said that was the best night of his life. He can't wait to do it again. He fucked Esther because she was gorgeous and everything. I said, that's what they all say, bitches, okay? But I was like, he loved it. He said, look at this. This my battle scar. I said, you just never know which way it's gonna flow, okay? So she was cool on that part. But they get ready to do this segment. So while they doing the segment, Mary Jane is out there. Before they do that, they put out some fake stuff saying that, or they claimed that somebody was putting out fake shit saying that the girl Sandra was actually gay back in her day. She used to fuck with girls and all that shit. And, you know, sometimes it comes out. We've seen a lot of reports like that. One of the main peoples that be have a hard on for saying homosexuality is bad and all this shit and you're going to hell and you're disgusting. Then you go back in their past or you see what they've been doing currently, still fucking around with the same sex too. But you just denounced that, but you still doing that same action. Get the fuck out of here with the hypocrisy. And so they went on there and she was talking about it and, you know, basically giving a whole, the Bible, I was raised in Christ and in the church and Jesus to go by the teachings of Jesus and all of this stuff. And in the Bible, it says homosexuality. Girl, Mary Jane was like, well, also in the Bible, it says that you shouldn't wear makeup. You shouldn't have tattoos. You shouldn't eat shrimp. You shouldn't eat pork. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. Are you telling me that you're following each and every aspect of that? Because if you're not, how are you judging somebody else and what they're doing when you're living in sin as yourself? Okay, how can you judge a sin when you're sinning? I said, come through, Mary Jane. Come fucking through. She was like, bitch, you know what? She was about to go off, okay? She said, well, the people in the church understand and would agree with what I had to say, and especially the people in the black community, in the black churches. And at that moment in time, I looked up, I said, bitch, wait a minute, where did this come from? The way that she just threw black churches out there, or black community in the church, that just threw, I said, where the fuck? I heard it somewhere. And even Mary Jane set up like, and she let it go for a second. And she was like, okay, so let me tell you something. After this video come out, how do you feel about, no. She was like, so let me say, after this video came out, how has things been? She was like, it's been hard. It's been hard. It's just been like, a lot of stuff has been happening. It's been hard. And I'm sitting here like, please, Mary Jane, bring home the point that you put out this video basically talking about discriminating against homosexuals, okay, or people that are not like you. And these are the same people who have to go through this judgment each and every day, and it's hard on them. And now all of a sudden, because you get called out because of your discriminatory views, it's all of a sudden hard for you, and we're supposed to feel sympathy because of the hate that you're spewing. Yes, it's your opinion, you're entitled to your opinion, but sometimes it's okay to just keep that on the mute, all right? Especially when you're in business and you're peddling a product that you want people to buy. Because when you put stuff out there in business or on TV and things like that, it's not just straight people or heterosexual people, however technical you want to get it, that are watching or buying your product. Gay people are doing it too. Trans people are doing it too. And so you alienate customers, you alienate viewership, you alienate a whole bunch of people, and you alienate your dollars, okay? It's a lot of motherfuckers out here that owns a lot of stuff that we watching and probably products that we buy, and they can't stand a motherfucking dyke. They can't stand a gay man. They can't stand a trans woman, but you ain't gonna hear them put that shit out there in the public. They gonna be talking about that shit behind closed doors, probably at the coffee table, at home and all that shit, but they know better than put that shit out in public because they want their money. They don't want to fuck up their bottom line. See, that's where she fucked up, because now she's getting left off and getting taken off of here and taken off of there. And so Mary Jane was like, so what do you have to say after saying all this stuff that you said about homosexuals? What do you have to say about the people who are homosexuals or in the LGBT community who buy your stuff, who work with you, you work in interior design, and it's a lot of gay people in interior design, okay? What do you have to say about those, to those that you offended? She just looked at the camera and said, God bless. I said, bitch, she ain't sorry. And you know what? I'm not even fucking mad. What I cannot stand is when a person come out and say something what they really feel and then want to say, you know what, because of the backlash that they got, they want to put out this fake apology and say that they sorry. You're not sorry. You said what you said. Stand up in it. And I will give you a half an ounce of respect for, standing up in your word. Okay? So, hey, I couldn't even hate on that part. I said, bitch, you still a bitch, but you said what you said and you know what it is. You ain't finna change for these motherfuckers. I said, all right, fine, whatever, moving on. She goes and see Danny. Well, Danny come up to her and was like, oh my God, Mary Jane, you did such a good job with that interview. It worked out so well. Girl, Mary Jane was like, oh, thank you. And let me tell you something. Next time you have somebody that you like come on this show, if you ever go to one of my people that I'm interviewing and coaching them and telling them what to say, because that black church shit, I know that shit came from you. And I was like, you right. When they said that in the meeting, she said that about the black community. She was like, don't you ever do that, bitch. I said, go off, Mary Jane. She was like, okay. I said, no, you're not going to imitate her accent, girl. She had Danny shook a little bit, or she was in her feelings. And I said, see, but this is how, once again, even if you say what you need to say, which is right, you have to say it in a certain way that's not going to further alienate you, because you are already the token black bitch there, okay? And, next week we're going to see Danny say some shit talking about something. I thought they only hired her because she needed a black. Okay, and Mary Jane went off or felt away, and they gonna make her apologize because of the way that she went off. And see, that's where we get fucked up and caught in the middle. We can't express ourselves and say that that's wrong without it coming back on us saying, no, the way that you're reacting to it is wrong, because that's not. No, how you gonna tell me how I'm supposed to react to something that's offensive? Okay, you cannot dictate what I find offensive. Okay, just because you probably didn't mean it to be offensive, that don't mean that I'm not gonna take it as offensive. You know what I'm saying? But they handled that shit. Next thing you know, Aaron was talking to Justin, was like, oh my God, look at Mary Jane. She killed that interview. Okay, that's cool. Look at that. I like to pummel that Georgia peach. And he was just like, oh, okay. Justin didn't really have a reaction. Come to find out, Kara did say something about, you better not fuck with me because I could go and tell Gary what's going on. And she was joking with her, but she was upset. And we already knew Kara was not going to be the one that's going to out her friend. Regardless of how mad she was not going to out that relationship. But eventually, they found out that the ratings were better than they thought it would be. And then Garrett found out about the relationship between Mary Jane and Justin. And when he finds out, he basically takes Justin off of her stories and said, you can no longer produce. And it is a double standard, once again, because, like they said, no one is saying anything about all of Aaron's, the male co-host, his sexual conquest that he's had and the drama that he's had in the workplace with the people that he slept with. But when it gets to this black woman, let's just take the black off. When it gets to this woman, oh, it's a problem. It's a problem now, and we're going to take her producer off her shit because we don't really want that much issues going on, and with the shit that's going on with Kara, we don't want no more lawsuits and all this shit. It's a double standard, and it's the same shit that always fucking happen. It reminds me of Insecure, what's going on with Molly and her situation. It's a double standard, So he gets taken off her stuff and moved down to Kansas to do a show, a segment on there about some shit that's going on, and he gonna be gone for a week, and Mary Jane acting all like he gonna be gone for a year or so. I'm sitting here like, girl, calm the fuck down. It's just a goddamn week. Y'all need a break from each other. Okay, look at all the bullshit that y'all causing. Then they in there holding hands and stuff, but you can see how close they are. Everybody's picking up on the vibe, and that's when Justin finds out that it was Aaron who tricked off to Gary after Mary Jane accuses Kara. Kara said, you know what? Just because you was a bad, shitty friend to me, that don't mean that I was going to do that to you, okay? She said, When you done fuck people over so many times and pissed them off so much, you don't even know who the fuck it is that's ratted out on you. That's how come you gain so many enemies that you don't even know who had something against you that will go over your head and go to the boss and rat you out on some shit like this. Because that's how it is. Everywhere Mary Jane goes, she, because of her attitude, because of her, will and all that stuff, she do makes a lot of enemies. The way that she moves around, she makes enemies, so it could have been anybody in that office. It could have been anybody anyway. And so, Aaron said, because when I said that shit about Mary Jane ass, the way that you didn't really flinch, so I figured it out. And he said, let me just tell you this. Y'all may have got Rhonda out of here, but bitch, you won't do that shit to me. I said, go off, Aaron. Aaron said, you got me fucked up. But that was the situation with that. So let me just get into Niecy right quick. Niecy came up to New York on a false pretense of trying to figure out what's going on with Mary Jane, when in reality she was flying up there for some dick. First of all, you getting with somebody who couldn't fly you out, which was probably a good thing because you could pay your airfare or whatever. You don't want to be one of them Twitter honeys or whatever that got flown out, and then we hear a whole Twitter story about how you got left at the airport, the nigga didn't show up, the nigga didn't do this, and you ain't got no money. Bitch, them stories be bomb as fuck on Twitter. I'd be like, you are a dumb bitch, okay? I could have told you where you went wrong. You went wrong at this juncture right here, okay? But Niecy flew out there herself. She came up to Good Day USA, seen Mary Jane. Bitch, Niecy was me. Niecy was me and a few other people that's watching this video. Yes, we watched that episode and said, bitch, that's me. When she saw them free snacks and shit, bitch, get you a bottle of water. No, get two because it's a bunch of them. Get a couple of bags. They did some healthy shit. Get it. Check it. They ain't nobody else touching it, so hell. They'll have some fresh shit in the next day. Okay, they ain't missing no meals, but bitch, I would have did the same thing. But Niecy came up there to meet up with this dude, Akili. And I said, look at Chris Brown. He was doing all the nice stuff. Had her in the park, had her ass walking, sitting on a bench, wiped the bench, got her some pizza, got her a little rose, brought her over to his apartment. I'm like, it's New York, okay, so I didn't expect much. And I'm just glad that he had his own spot because he could have had roommates and shit. But of course, Niecy is finding complaints with this because she just came back from no, she sees that his place is very, very small, okay, and it's kind of cramped or whatever, but he's making do. It's just him, so who cares? And as we later finds out, he said he's do maintenance work in the building so he can live there rent-free. That's good to me, okay? You doing something. He said he used to live with his mama a year ago. Now he making it on his own. I said, all right, you do what you got to do. I was here for him for damn near the whole episode until the end. We'll get there in a second. She fucked this nigga. Okay? I said, please don't. Like, Niecy, you really flew up for some dick and you didn't tell anybody the real reason why you were there, except for that friend of yours who probably was the other baby mama. Something could have happened. He could have turned out to be a fucking psycho and killed your ass and been torturing your ass or, gang raped your ass. You just never fucking know. So that is not a safe thing to do. Please, when y'all go out of state and y'all doing this shit, let somebody know where you at, alright? Because just to be fucking safe, okay? Keep your phone on so they get that GPS and all that shit. Because you just never know, especially when you meet somebody offline. I said, Niecy, you're a dumb bitch, okay? So after that, she fucked him a couple of times. He was painting her and all that shit. She go over Mary Jane's house talking about, bitch, where's the guest bedroom? You up? She said, bitch, I paid twice as much as I did for the last place for this place. I said, first of all, you got me fucked up on that one. All right. I would never want to live in New York because some prices are too damn high. You're paying $1,600 plus for rent each month for a studio apartment that's about as big as my motherfucking room right here. You got me all the way fucked up, okay? So Niecy was kind of over that. So when she went back over there to old boy house, she mentioned that, and that's when he told him about how, he's staying there for free because he do maintenance work in the building, and how he's a painter. This what Niecy had me fucked up too. Niecy said, oh, so what are you over there doing? You got my hair, and let me get ready. He was like, you're beautiful. She was like, so wait a minute. You got a thing for the big girls and all this stuff. But see, when you said you was an artist, I thought you was a rapper or something, not an actual artist. I said, bitch, Niecy, How dumb are you? As soon as you come into the man's house, all you see is paintbrushes, art easels, canvases, and artwork and shit like that. And paint, bitch. You couldn't put two and two together. You really let that come out your mouth. Oh, Jesus Christ. God bless the children. God bless them, because this bitch need help. And she literally came up there looking for somebody who was a baller to take care of her. That's what we found out when she had a little conversation with Mary Jane about dude and all that shit. And like Mary Jane said, he found his passion. Why don't you find yours, okay? Instead of running after dick after dick after dick and getting mad because of this. Even though he was kind of playing her a little bit, because he was like, oh, your auntie is Mary Jane, why don't you ask her, can she get my work and look at it and get it off the ground and all this shit? And I said, Niecy, just go. Niecy, just fucking go. Okay? I'm surprised that you went over there and told Mary Jane about this shit, but Niecy is dumb as fuck. I just can't. Like, the dumbness is, you have 2 fucking kids and you still dumb as shit. That don't mean shit, but even Mary Jane was like, bitch, did you protect yourself? Because we ain't trying to have what happened last time happen again. Like, you have another baby daddy all the way up in New York and your ass in Atlanta. Girl, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this episode. I'll see y'all later.